We can finally put Brexit behind us, the words of European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, hailing the conclusion of that trade deal between the EU and the UK. This Christmas Eve breakthrough includes reciprocity on fishing rights that lock both sides in for 5.5 years, and mechanisms to react if the other side violates fair trade rules. Let's go straight to Brussels. And correspondent Dave Keating. Dave, any surprises with that 11th hour announcement?
It is mostly what we were expecting. We did have confirmed this time period that EU vessels will still have access to UK fishing waters. That is 5.5 years. That was confirmed by President von der Leyen. Michel Barnier confirmed a couple things that we suspected. One, that the UK will be leaving the Erasmus education cooperation. It will also be leaving any type of EU foreign policy, military, or development aid cooperation, although Barnier seemed to hint that it could choose to rejoin that in the future.
So we have finally found an agreement.
Non-discrimination clauses for things like visas and social security for EU citizens. And probably most importantly, we got confirmation that the UK has signed up to the level playing field guarantees that it was resisting for so long, which will make sure that it doesn't deregulate in a way that would unfairly compete with the EU. What we understand is these are the retaliatory tariffs, the so-called ratchet clause. It seems to have been renamed now to a rebalancing mechanism, but it is essentially the same thing that Boris Johnson's allies had said would amount to the UK being a client state of the EU. They have apparently signed up to that. So these are some big concessions from the UK in terms of fisheries, in terms of level playing field, but a lot of the UK's red lines have been stuck to here. The European Court of Justice will not have a say over those level playing field issues. And on fisheries, there is a time limit. It's not in perpetuity. It's nowhere near as short as the time limit as the UK wanted, but there will be a time limit. We're still getting more and more details. I'm sure as the experts read this incredibly long text, we'll understand more of it as the next hours go by.
Yeah, the agreement stays off what could have been a hard Brexit on January the 1st. Dave, we're going to hear shortly from London, from the UK Prime Minister. I want to ask you, and we can perhaps show you where that press conference is going to be taking place. I want to ask you, Dave, about the tone of what we heard from the European Commission President, from her chief negotiator. They talked about satisfaction tinged with sadness. What do you make of the language used?
Yeah, they had to walk a fine balance here. They were expressing a lot of relief. I was kind of surprised that both of them so explicitly said, Brexit is over, let's move on from Brexit. The reality is Brexit is going to be an ongoing process for many years, but everybody on both sides is so sick of it, they'd love to think that it's over. At the least, this stage of Brexit is finally over, and people were really sick of this stage. So it was relief, but also, as Barnier said, tinged with sadness that the UK is leaving. And also, you saw President von der Leyen there wanting to make the case for the EU, speaking directly to EU citizens and saying, we don't agree with Boris Johnson's idea of sovereignty. We think that sovereignty is having the freedom to be able to study, work, and live in 27 different countries in Europe. We think sovereignty is Europe being strong in relation to other countries in the world. So I think you saw a big pushback there against what the UK is doing. Of course, they want to celebrate the fact that a deal has, against all odds, been agreed here in such a short period of time, but also that they don't see this as a good development. And of course, Barnier was also cautioning that Brexit is going to entail some major changes for people and businesses in 7 days, even with this deal. This deal is just going to cushion the blow, but in terms of lorries getting backed up in Kent, we're probably going to see that anyway, because customs checks still need to be carried out. So this deal, if it's approved by EU 27 governments in the next few days, provisionally approved that is the transition coming up in just a few days is going to be a major change for economic relations between the UK and the EU. But there's no doubt that this will majorly cushion the blow, particularly because it is 100% no tariffs. At least that's what we're hearing from the UK side. I think we need to hear from the experts in the next hours whether that's actually the case.